You won't believe what happened on Reddit today. My sister-in-law, Chloe, 32-year-old woman, thinks her life fell apart because of bad luck. But I, 31-year-old woman, am the one who secretly orchestrated her downfall using a family secret I was never supposed to know. For 10 years, I've been married to her brother, 34-year-old man, and for 10 years, Chloe has treated me like dirt. She's the family's golden child, a self-made interior designer who never missed a chance to mock my boring office job or my basic taste. My husband always said, "That's just how she is," and told me to be the bigger person. Well, I got tired of being the bigger person. About 6 months ago, I was at my in-laws' house and overheard my mill on the phone. She was panicked, talking about an old safe deposit box. I heard her say, "No one can ever know that Chloe's business was started with her grandfather's money, especially not how he got it." After some digging, I found out Grandpa wasn't just a thrifty old man. He was a disgraced ACU, not the a-holant who embezzled nearly $200,000 in the 80s and hid it before he went to prison. My mill gave that dirty money to Chloe to start her ethically sourced, high-end design firm. The hypocrisy was staggering. Chloe built her entire brand on a throne of lies, so I decided to act. I found out who her biggest client was, a local politician's wife who was obsessed with her public image. I created a burner email and sent an anonymous, carefully worded tip to a local investigative journalist, hinting that a prominent local designer's business was funded by old, scandalous money. I didn't name names, but I gave just enough detail about the timeline and the family's history. It worked better than I ever imagined. The journalist published a vague but damning article. The politician's wife dropped Chloe immediately. Then, like dominoes, her other high-profile clients pulled out, spooked by the bad press. Her business is now in shambles, and she just put her perfect minimalist house on the market. Last night at a family dinner, she was sobbing at the table, talking about how jealous, evil people ruined her life with rumors. My husband was rubbing her back, and the whole family was consoling her. Later, he pulled me aside and said, "This is why we need to be there for her. Can you imagine someone trying to ruin your life like that?" I just nodded and held my wine glass, feeling a cold, hard satisfaction I've never felt before. A part of me feels like a monster, but the other part feels like she finally got what she deserved. I know what I did was wrong, but was it? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. You won't believe what happened on Reddit today. My 30-year-old man, best friend and business partner, 31-year-old man, just used our company's last 50 grand to bet against the one stock that was supposed to make us rich. He was right, and now he's disappeared with every single penny. For 5 years, Leo and I bled sweat to build our software startup. We finally had a comfortable nest egg in our business account, $250,000. It was everything. Our ticket to scaling up, to hiring real employees, to not eating ramen for dinner. But I found an even faster ticket. A small-cap biotech firm, RPRS, with a miracle drug about to get Phase 3 FDA approval. My DD was solid. It was a guaranteed 10-bagger. I told Leo we needed to go all in. He looked at me like I'd suggested we burn the office down. "This isn't a casino, man. This is our life," he screamed. But I knew I was right. I felt it in my bones. So, behind his back, I did it. I moved $200,000 into weekly call options. The tendies were going to be glorious. I woke up Tuesday morning to a bloodbath. The FDA news wasn't just bad, it was a catastrophic failure. The stock had cratered 92% pre-market. My calls were worth less than dust. I was staring at the screen, heart pounding, trying to figure out how to tell Leo we were bankrupt when my phone buzzed. It was a text from him. "Check the account, I saved us." I logged in, confused. The $200,000 was gone, but our balance wasn't zero. It was $310,000. Then I saw the trade history. As soon as I'd bought the calls, Leo had taken the remaining $50,000 and our margin, and opened a massive short position on RPRS. He didn't just disagree with me, he actively bet against me with our own money. He liquidated the position at the bottom, transferred the full $310,000 to an account I can't access, and sent one last text. "Your half of the original capital is safe. We're done." He's been offline ever since. My calls are blocked. Everyone says I'm the idiot who gambled away our future, but he's the one who stole from the company to spite me and is now holding all the cash hostage. Am I wrong for thinking his betrayal is worse than my bad bet? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. You won't believe what happened on Reddit today. My boyfriend, 28-year-old man, just admitted the real reason my passport, laptop, and our entire emergency fund were stolen on our dream vacation. And now, I, 26-year-old woman, am seriously considering leaving him stranded in Thailand. This happened 2 days ago. We were a month into a backpacking trip across Southeast Asia, staying in a cheap but charming hostel in Bangkok. The problem was our dorm mate, Marcus. This guy gave me the creeps from minute one. He would just sit on his bunk and stare, especially when I was organizing my stuff in my locker. I told my boyfriend, Leo, that I felt super uncomfortable. Leo just laughed it off. Babe, he's just a solo traveler. We're all a community here. Relax your American paranoia. I tried to listen to him, I really did, but my gut was screaming. The night it happened, we went out for street food. I double-checked my locker was padlocked before we left. When we got back a few hours later, the padlock was on the floor, snipped clean through, and my locker was empty. My MacBook, my passport, and the $800 cash we had stashed were all gone. Leo's locker, right next to mine, was completely untouched. And the first thing out of Leo's mouth was, "Are you okay? But are you sure you locked it properly?" I was devastated. To make it worse, Marcus had checked out while we were gone. It seemed like an open and shut case. We filed a police report, but we both knew it was hopeless. For the last 48 hours, Leo has been moping, sighing about how our trip is ruined. But tonight, the truth came out. We were arguing about money when he finally cracked. He confessed that the morning of the robbery, he'd borrowed my locker key to grab our sunscreen, and in his rush to meet some guys for a beer, he left my key sitting on the shared dorm room table for over an hour. He forgot to tell me because he didn't want me to overreact. He's still blaming Marcus, saying the guy must have seen the key and planned the whole thing. But I'm looking at him, and all I can see is the guy who dismissed my legitimate fears, carelessly left my life's savings vulnerable, and then tried to blame me for it. He's been letting me believe for 2 days that this was some random, unavoidable crime. I have a secret credit card my parents gave me for a true life-or-death emergency. It has enough for one plane ticket home. Leo is sitting on the bed crying, begging me to forgive him and figure this out together. He says a mistake shouldn't end our relationship. But I'm looking at him, and I feel nothing but ice in my veins. This feels like a life-or-death emergency for my sanity. Today I messed up by not listening to my gut, and now I don't know if I should save both of us or just myself. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. You won't believe what happened on Reddit today. My boyfriend of 5 years proposed to me last night, and in the middle of his speech, his other fiancée showed up with their son. It was supposed to be the perfect night. Mark, 33-year-old man, took me 29-year-old woman to the ridiculously expensive French restaurant where we had our first date. His parents were there, and so was my sister, all beaming. I knew it was coming when he started talking about our journey, our future. He got down on one knee, pulled out a velvet box with a blindingly beautiful $15,000 ring, and I started crying happy tears. He was halfway through saying, "You make me the best version of myself," when there was a commotion at the front. A woman was arguing with the host, holding the hand of a little boy who looked about 3 years old. I was annoyed at the interruption, but then I saw Mark's face. It went completely white. He froze, still on one knee. The woman walked directly to our table. The little boy broke away from her hand, ran to Mark, and hugged his leg, shouting, "Daddy." The entire restaurant went silent. The woman, who was probably my age, looked at me, then at the open ring box in Mark's hand, and said with an icy calm, "Mark, you left Leo's birthday gift in the car. And what exactly is this?" It all clicked into place. The frequent work trips to Chicago. The reason he couldn't come to my family's Thanksgiving last year. He had a whole other life. A whole other family he was building with a woman he was also engaged to. Mark started stammering, trying to say it was a misunderstanding. His parents looked like they'd seen a ghost. My sister was just staring, mouth open. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I felt nothing. A weird, hollow calm. I gently took the ring box from his paralyzed hand, stood up, and walked over to the other woman. I looked her in the eyes and said, "I believe this belongs to you." I placed it in her hand, turned around, and walked out of the restaurant without looking back. Now I'm at my sister's place. My phone has been exploding with texts from Mark, his mom, and even the other woman, Sarah. His mom called me a cruel monster for humiliating her son like that. Sarah texted that Mark told her we broke up 2 years ago. Mark is sending me paragraphs saying he chose me and was going to end it with her. I just destroyed a family and a proposal in one move. Am I wrong for how I handled it? What do you think? Let me know in the comments.